Hello, my loves, and welcome to July 2025's Energy Update. I am Johanna Burkhardt. I am a quantum alchemist, multidimensional channel, teacher, healer, self-help author, and my mission is to help you to be the change you want to see so that you can create the reality that you are desiring. And we do that through teaching you how to shift your frequency. July is a massive turning point for us collectively. But before we dive into July, let's talk about June for a second. So I mentioned that mid-June we would have some confusion, and by the end of June we would have a little bit of clarity. And I don't know about you, but I definitely had the clarity. But right after the clarity, the last few days of June, there was some very intense mental energy that was amplifying the limiting beliefs. It was amplifying the worst, fear, the worst case scenarios. And if you are someone who doesn't manage their energy well, also known as anxiety, or somebody that is just a chronic overthinker, this might have been amplified for you. And so if you went through a few intense days in the end of June, I want you to know that you are not alone. So July is big for many reasons. We're going through the last half of this massive timeline shift, a timeline split that we're going through that began in January. So in January, I talked about how 2025 is the year of us moving into new earth frequencies, which is a split off, right? This is the massive collective fork in the road. So there's going to be some people that go, let's say, right, and they keep looping around the same karmic cycles, the same patterns, the same limiting beliefs, the same struggles in life over and over and over again. And then there's going to be those that go left, and they're going to go into a very uncertain but divinely guided path that is going to evolve and expand them and spiral them. Very different energy. And I talked about this in January, how I talked about 2025 is the year of us going towards those new earth frequencies, like I mentioned, and a major timeline split, but it's also the year of forgiveness. And those two things go hand in hand. Forgiveness is about forgiving or giving back, letting go of something that isn't inherently yours to carry. And so, beginning now in July and over the next 6 months, we are going to see an amplification, right? I'm not an astrologer. So if you're wanting to know personally for you, please check with an astrologer. But Jupiter being in Cancer, being in its exaltation, which is where it's does its best work, and Jupiter being the planet of expansion, even though most people think it's the planet of abundance, and it has an abundance quality, but it's only because it's the planet of expansion. So if you are starting to lean towards or cycling through these karmic loops, your problems are going to expand. They're going to get more intense. They're going to be more obvious. They're going to create more suffering. They're going to get louder. But every moment you are being placed at a metaphoric fork in the road and being asked to choose. Do you want to do the loop or do you want to expand and rise? And when you expand and rise, you choose differently. You choose uncertainty. You choose faith. You choose to believe in the divinity of who you are as a divine being over the evidence being presented to you in the now moment. You choose to align your mind, body, and soul with who you know your truth to be, not the identities and the masks that are attached to that nervous system programming from childhood, from trauma. And this is very, very important for you guys to hear. The new human templates are coming online, and it's going to come in, and that is going to take up a lot of our energetic field as well. And as that new template starts to settle in, it's going to press upon these limits and constrictions. And how you will know that something is limiting for you or something's not aligned for you is it will feel heavy. It could feel constricted. It could feel limiting. It could feel like you're rotting or dying. And when something is for you, it's going to feel like you're alive. It's going to feel expansive. It's going to feel hopeful. It's going to feel good. It can even feel a little bit scary. And I think it's divine timing that I put out my course, Identity Shift. This digital experience goes live July 9th. And we're going to be teaching you how to choose your authentic identity and strip away these masks. Like, I can't make this stuff up. I had no idea what July's energy was going to be about until I sat down to record it. And I was like, huh, that's pretty divine for me. And so if you're interested in that, there is a link down below. You can also and join it at any time. You can join the identity shift at any time if you choose the yearly option of my Evolve membership. The price of the course and the price of the membership are very similar. And so if you want even more content besides the course, just choose the Evolve yearly membership. But you can also just sign up for identity. So let's get back to the update. Your brain, and I talk about this in Identity Shift, but I'm going to mention it here. Your brain is a receiver, and thought is just thought. It has no meaning until you attach something to it. That is what we know as consciousness. It's just thought form. And so it's really important for you guys to stop believing and identifying with your thoughts. And instead, the same way you choose which video to watch on social media or what post to read that aligns with you, that feels good to you, you do the same with your thought process. And the other big thing is choosing to sit in silence and breaking the cycles of when you go to reach for your phone or watch TV or do something to occupy your time because you're in boredom. And instead, spend time in silence, utilizing this receiver to receive from the energy field and choosing to tune in to your higher self, to higher consciousness, to your guides, to whatever it is that you're choosing to, and just receive and be selective about what you allowed to download and attach to, because that's what's going to come true, right? So if you're not present and you're in your head and you're not in the moment, all these thoughts are going by and you're just grabbing on and believing and attaching and downloading, and then you're wondering why your reality is showing up the way that it is. And so it's best to practice sitting in that space and consciously utilizing your receiver in the way that it was meant to be used, but also just learning to be present and to be aware and conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking, the words that you're speaking, the actions that you're taking, and choosing at any moment to swipe that thought away or say, ooh, that does not feel good. That's not my divine truth. And choosing to align to what is your divine truth, even if the current evidence shows otherwise. Your evidence is based upon old belief systems that you fed. If you want to breed something new, you have to think something new, and you have to back it with the energy so that that's what it creates. You can think it all you want, but if your energy is giving off another signal, well, that is a contradiction. And then oftentimes you can just feel stuck. That's not going to work either. Either way, Jupiter is going to expand everything. So if you are moving into alignment, things are going to move very fast. They're going to be very fluid. And those things are going to expand you, and it's going to start to create very quickly in your reality. The same way, if you are not in alignment, it's going to get louder and bigger and more intense to give you option after option, opportunity after opportunity to begin to choose differently and to start to live in that faith and uncertainty and build from that, build within that. You have to start shedding these old identities because over the next 6 months, you're going to be choosing what kind of reality you want to live in. Do you want to live in a new earth reality where you are the one who's consciously creating and feeling that inner freedom, feeling that inner peace? Someone who is shedding their old identities, shedding the masks, and living from their divine state of being in the flow? Or do you want to be someone that loops around the same karmic cycles again and again, repeating patterns, repeating relationships, repeating limiting beliefs, running up against the same constrictions over and over again, dressed a little bit differently? Or do you want to start to choose differently, going a different direction, and building upon that, allowing you to expand your sense of awareness, expand the capacity of the frequency that you can hold, and rise? You have to, every time you hit one of these, choose to go this way and build that new neural pathway and rinse and repeat. Otherwise, you're just going to do this. And over the next 6 months, there's going to be a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty, not just on the world stage, not just in what's happening in the United States or other countries, but in your own personal reality. Uncertainty is going to become something that everybody's experiencing at a very intense level. And while everything has always been uncertain, it's stripping away the things that have given our ego a false sense of security. This is what's going to be happening in the world over the next few years. All the things that our ego has believed created certainty and stability are going to start to break down. And we will feel that happening in our energy field. So your job is to become best friends with uncertainty and realizing that all it is an adventure, a space to create in, a space to decide what it is that you want to feel and experience. Whew, let's just take a moment here and let me see what else wants to come through. We have so many divine beings here. I can literally feel my whole entire body vibrating. So what I want to say about the rest of July, because I kind of have used this video, or they have used this video to kind of introduce the next 6 months to you. And July is the beginning point of that. And so I want you to see what happens in July as kind of an understanding of what you're going to experience over the next 6 months. Because the energy is only going to get more intense as the templates take hold, as the new frequencies come in, as the split widens. And we will see this. We will see this in loss of relationships, loss of jobs, loss of businesses, just things in our societal structures breaking down. There's going to be a karmic reckoning, right? There's going to be a karmic reckoning, a divine reckoning where people are going to be brought to their knees. People who we have to hold accountable from the world stage, and people individually who are going to be brought to their knees so that they will surrender what they're holding on to too tightly. July isn't all intense bad energy. There's some very beautiful aspects of it, and the astrology of July that I've kind of looked over has some really big shifts as well. I don't feel like July overall energetically, like from the cosmos perspective, is going to be super intense, but they're saying there's going to be at least 4 really intense waves of photonic light that are going to come in. And these are going to be felt very viscerally in the body. So that is going to be something to watch for. Also, it's going to be really important for, again, you utilizing this receiver and letting July be a really good month for you to practice for the next 6 months and beyond, because communication is going to be imperative. Internal communication, receiving from your divine being, listening to the ego and inner child aspects, listening from an observer space, not from one that's believing what you're hearing as truth, but listening as in, I hear you. And it's trying to teach you something. It's trying to give you an opportunity to love that part of you, not feed it, not entertain it, not dialogue with it. Just, I hear you, I love you. And this is what we're going to do, because that is not true. That is not our truth. That is not who we are. That's who somebody told you to be, or what somebody projected on you to be. But guess what? This is the truth of who you are. And we're going to focus on this. It's not bypassing. You're still being asked to feel whatever is attached to that. Because when you feel it, you find where the density is in the body, right? If you have a thought and you have a feeling connected, you need to feel that, because that's what the density is. And remember, ascension is the body going from carbon density to crystalline. So when you find density that's attached to a thought, feel it. Feel the sensations. But remember that that's all emotions are, is sensations in motion, right? Energy in motion. So when you're feeling nauseous, when you're feeling like you're feeling shame and overwhelm and fear and all these things, sadness, just say to yourself, when something feels uncomfortable, say to yourself, this is just sensations that the body's experiencing. I don't have to take this personally. This is something that I have imprisoned inside of me that's asking to be set free. And if I just open my heart and feel it, I will set it free. I will alchemize it, and I will feel that freedom within me. And this alarm, this repeating limiting belief will shut off, because I cleared the energy that was attached to this alarm, that created this alarm. We do have some language of light that would like to come in for an activation for July, to kind of close us out. So for those of you who are listening, please come back to this if you're driving, or doing something that is taking your physical attention. If you have the space to just sit, drop your shoulders, just do a quick head roll. There's going to be a lot of solar plexus and root chakra energy that are going to be activated in July. Um, the solar plexus is really tied to our identity. And of course, our root chakra is our base. It is our grounding. It is our fear. It is our stability. So it makes sense that those two energy centers might have a little cracking open to do. So before we get into that, this was coming through the activation. I wanted to get this information that's coming through. So if you're having digestive issues, if you're having a lot of bloating or stomach issues, that is the solar plexus speaking to you. It's probably oversaturated. It's probably moving very slowly. And if you're having a lot of lower back pain, pelvic pain, tailbone pain, even in your hips, you want to recognize that that is your root chakra. And you really want to spend more time in nature, get barefoot, get in water, hug a tree, sit in stillness, lay on the floor, dance, do things that unlock your hips, unlock your body, and help set some of that energy free. Okay. All right. We have codes ready for you. So go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to take a deep breath in and out. Osto ala e te kera osho kana ara ina atoro te kera ina ara una kara ara ina sokora ara ishna ka ara una ata ishno una ata e kene ulo udo kena ala ishno uto uo uke era ara ishno ko ora ara ino kara ara ishno o te kisnato rolta kara ina ato oshna Oseke isni, ukotorora tar etei, utana ala ishno, uto olla ala ishna, akorola ana e, olla akara eno, kora ala ishno. Una olla ala esna, atakara ena, adroshna kara una ena. Okana ala ishno, kuna ada arena, alura te kala arena, arreta irkana, ora ara krishna. Okana oshna, okana oshna. Breathing in, out. Atakara ina, anan aretana, ora ota ina, akara ona, ana inish nuka ana ina, atakara an aishna, ata ina, ata ushna, ata irish nuka a. Una ukara ana ishna, una aka ishna, un akaneshna, o akaneshna. Breathe in, breathe out. Interesting enough, when I was doing the language of light, I saw Nikola Tesla. I saw a lot of electrical neural pathways lighting up, and I saw the Octurian. So there's a lot of electrical frequencies, a lot of electrical energy. I'm also really warning of the electrical grids collectively. So just be mindful of those things. I don't foresee the whole United States going down, the electrical grid going down, but we will see occurrences over the next 6 months of grid problems. That is going to be a thing. It's not going to be the doomsday way that a lot of people talk about, but we will see other countries and our country start to experience grid problems, especially with how the new frequencies are coming in and the grid templates being upgraded. So I hope you guys enjoyed July's update, and I will see you next time. Namaste.